my first question, which I thought was quite a good question, was, is this a straw in the wind, this poll, or is it merely a completely meaningless outlier in your view?
I think we should take this poll with a grain of salt. 2016 taught us that that's what we ought to do when we're this far out from the general election. But look, there's a reality here is that this isn't completely meaningless. There is a feeling that Joe Biden isn't delivering what people wanted. And that's true amongst a great many folks who crossed over to vote for him, folks who either stayed home also in 2020, or those who are even giving up now on feeling that Joe Biden is the right person to have the Democratic nomination. This feeling really stems from the economy. And that's where we should look for the genuine sense of where younger Americans are looking.
But, looking from outside America, we are quite jealous of your economic performance. Inflation well below lots of other countries, 3%. You've got some growth. You've got things moving in your economy. Why would people be so angry? And second, sorry if I can just add, why is it that younger American voters seem to be beginning to turn towards Trump?
There are some key indicators that the Biden administration has been touting as success. And look, they're not wrong. When you talk about inflation, the price of daily commodities coming down, that is a good thing. They've been having some success in cooling inflation, is what I mean to say there. But again, the prices haven't come drastically down. And that's something we sort of expect with a number of measures, either taken in combination by the Federal Reserve or by also those who are advising Biden on what lies ahead. There's been a lot of talk also about things like housing. We're always anticipating the housing bubble to pop here in these United States. And look, we have a really different challenge here as well, because younger Americans that thought that they could have the dream their parents had, which was retire in their 60s, have a nice 2-car garage in the suburbs with that white picket fence, and also maybe have 2 children to boot, cannot hack it. And I'm talking about those born after 1981, millennials. They're having troubles making mortgage payments. So therefore, they're not buying homes. Then Gen Z, which put Biden in the White House. This is a very, very young crop of Americans. I'm talking about those who are fresh out of college, or some are still sitting in college. They can't afford their rent. And so forget making a mortgage payment. They can't even make their rent. And so therefore, they're not leaving their parents' home. They're going back to their parents' home. And again, that is what is sort of leading to that cause and effect there, is that feeling that our politics is leading to nothing getting done.
So, Rina, this is very, very familiar, I suspect, to a British audience here, what you're talking about, younger voters not being able to afford a home, people worrying about their retirement. And it's the part of the bigger picture of the loss of the West, including America, of economic heft and industrial power to China. So that's underlying a lot of this. But can I ask you about a much more trivial seeming question, which is Joe Biden's age? I heard Donald Trump make quite a funny joke about him, looking, as he walked across the White House lawn, looking as if he was walking on toothpicks. Are these kind of jibes and this sense that really the president isn't quite up to it, is that beginning to hit home a bit?
The frustration is at a fever pitch right now. There are so many Americans who are not just angry, but they are downright furious about the fact that Democrats and Republicans continue to prop up folks who are octogenarians. And a Biden-Trump rematch is what almost nobody wants. But younger Americans have come to expect that this is all there is, that we have a system that gives us 2 bad choices. We've seen it over and over. Trump is a mere 3 years Biden's junior. He just comes across as looking physically more vital, physically more strong. And we applaud that in our politics. We actually reward that. So for Trump, he's going to continue to make those kind of low blows, those jabs, because he knows he can. And therefore, again, we sit in this moment where we're thinking, is this the best we've got? And younger Americans don't feel represented. But we have a system that rewards the incumbent. We have a system that makes the incumbent even richer. And so the Biden administration can talk about their success with getting unemployment figures right, bringing down inflation. But also, conservatives aren't wrong to talk about core inflation. And you hear younger Americans sort of tacking onto that and saying, there's something here. I'm being lied to by one set or the other. Okay, so it's just really a matter of who you're talking to and when you're talking to them. But I don't think this will go away anytime soon.